When you want to use VBA to manipulate a table, form, or other database object, you need to assign that object to a variable. Those variables are, not surprisingly, called object variables. For this movie, we'll use the object variables code module that I have here in the navigation pane, so I'll double-click it to display it. The module contains just a skeleton of an object variable subroutine, so I'll click between the sub and end sub statements to start working. You declare an object variable the same way you declare any other variable. You just specify the type of object you want that variable to represent. So let's say that I want to create an object variable for a form. For that, I'll type dim, D-I-M, space, then the name of a variable, and I usually just type in my, M-Y, F-O-R-M, to refer to a form, then as, A-S, space, and then the word form, F-O-R-M, and return. So now, Access understands that the variable myForm will represent a form within the database. After you declare the object variable, you use the set command to assign an object to that variable. So I'll type set, S-E-T, a space, then myForm, equal, then forms, F-O-R-M-S, and forms refers to the collection of all forms within the database, then a left parentheses, double quote, and then the name of the form, which is products, plural, and double quote, and a right parentheses, and enter. So now what I've done is indicate that the myForm variable refers to the products form, and the set statement allows me to do that. After you declare and set an object variable, you can use it as a shorthand reference to refer to that object. In this case, I'll create a message box that uses the myForm.name property. So MSG, BOX, space, then myForm, M-Y-F-O-R-M, a period, and then name, N-A-M-E. When I type the period, the Visual Basic Editor recognized that I could now enter a property related to a form. So when I did, it displayed a list of all the properties that were available to me. And the one I'm going to use is the form's name. And I'll press enter to accept it. One last thing that I need to do before I can run this code is to go back to the main database window. That's by pressing Alt F11 and open the products form. Because the forms collection refers to all of the forms that are currently open. Now if I press Alt F11 again and press F5, Access displays the message box and it contains the name of the form, products. Let's see what would happen if I go back to the database and close it. So I press Alt F11, and if I press Control W to close the products form, and then Alt F11 to switch back to the Visual Basic Editor, now if I press F5, I get an error dialog box indicating that Access can't find the reference form products, and that's because the form isn't open, it's closed. I know what the problem is, so I can just click End rather than debug the code. You can assign a new object to an object variable by using a second set statement. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to assign the client's form to the myForm variable. To do that, I would just type set myForm equal forms, left parentheses, double quote, clients, C-L-I-E-N-T-S, double quote, and a right parentheses. Now again, forms refers to all the open forms, so to avoid an error, you would need to have the client's form open in the main database window. When you're done working with an object variable, you should set that variable to nothing. The reason you do that is to free up the memory that is being used by that object. To do that, you just type another set statement, set, then the name of the variable, which is myForm, then equal, and then the keyword nothing, N-O-T-H-I-N-G, and return. Object variables are a real time saver when it comes to manipulating Access. Every object type has its own idiosyncrasies, but you'll find plenty of information in the autocomplete list and in the help files.